Okay, so good morning, students. So, in the previous class, we had solved a residential building, right? We had looked into how do we prepare an estimate for a residential building in the previous class. So, one of a friend had a doubt, why do we deduct only, right, 50% of your plastering work, right? In plastering, whether it is in plastering or whether it is in painting. I told you that we had to deduct only 50% of for the openings, right? For the doors, windows, or ventilators, whatever it is. So whenever it is an opening, we need to deduct 50%. So why that 50% number is there? This is because it is given in your IS standard 1200. Okay, so this is your Indian standard code, which is used for method of measurement for building and civil engineering works. As you can see, so in this standard gives you how do you measure your plastering and pointing work. Okay, how do we measure your plastering and pointing work? So if you just go to that website, right, BIS, Bureau of Indian Standards, and if you just look into what all the codes are available, you can see many codes are available. So this code is for your plastering and pointing. So similarly, all for each and every of our work, there is a code which is there. Okay, so each and every measurement of your work, code is there. So this code is for plastering and pointing. So let me just scroll down and show you where that is mentioned that you have to take only 50%. Okay, okay, so deductions. Okay, so this is for your plastering work. Okay, so you can see this part of section 3 deals with plastering, and let us just move on to deductions. Okay, so 3.8 deals with deductions from plasterings. So there are various parts, like if the opening is not exceeding 0.5 meter square, and whether it is in the range, whether the opening is in the range of 0.5 to 3 meters square. Okay, and then if the opening is greater than 3 meters squared. So there are three parts in your plastering work deductions: whether the opening is less than 0.5 meters squared, whether it is 0.5 meters squared to 3 meters squared, and whether your opening is greater than 3 meters square. So our openings are usually in the second range, that is 0.5 meters square to 3 meters square. Okay, so deductions, right, for that is in this category. Okay, so deductions for openings exceeding 0.5 meters square but not exceeding 3 meters square. Okay, so this is for this thing. Okay, so when both faces of the wall are plastered with the same plaster, deduction shall be made for only one. Okay, so you can read, it is given here that only deduction when the plaster yeah, which we use, right, when the cement plaster which we use, it is same for both the faces. Okay, when it is same for both the faces, that is what we are doing, right, in cement plastering. So we are plastering with the same cement, right, externally, internally, or both the faces of the wall. So what we have to do, only we have to deduct for one face. Deduction shall be made only for one face. So that is nothing but 1 by 2, right? It is half of what we deduct, or it is 50%, right? So that is given in this code. Okay. So because of this, what we do is we deduct only 50% of what we are doing in our calculations. So there are other details which are mentioned. See, and yeah, there is mention here also that only 50% of the area of opening of each face shall be made. That is here. Okay, deduction of 50% of area of opening on each face shall be made. So you can go through this code, and they have given in detail how the plastering work is to be measured, and also for pointing work. Okay, so after this, there is also details given for pointing work. So if you ask me why that particularly 50% is used, okay, why particularly 50% or half of that is used. So why that number 50% and not 75 and not 25%? Why that is used is because you know that when you deduct for a wall, we have to deduct, actually we have to deduct two faces. But what we deduct, we only deduct one face, right? We deduct only one face. That is, we deduct only 50%. So the other 50%, right? Other 50%, we assume that it is other 50% is utilized, that quantity of cement, right? Cement plaster, other face is utilized for so plastering your soffit of your opening, right? Soffit of your opening and sides of your opening. Okay, so whenever you have a opening, right? Whenever you have an opening, so this is your sill part, right? Bottom part. sill you have, and then you have sides, right? This is your side, and this is your soffit part. Okay, so if you just imagine in your 3D, so you have this opening size, right? Suppose it is 0.3 meters. Okay, your wall thickness is 0.3 meters. So this thickness of your opening will be 0.3, right? This thickness opening will be 0.3, no? So we have to plaster this, right? We have to plaster this part, we have to plaster this soffit part, we have to plaster this side part, and we have to plaster this sill part, right, of your opening. So that 50% or the other face which we have left out, that cement plaster is used for plastering this work, okay? Whether it is a window or whether it is a door. So what we do is one face we deduct, and the other face cement plaster, what we do is we utilize it for plastering this side part and your soffit and your sill part of your opening. Okay, so I hope you have understood why we deduct only 50%. So that was one doubt which student had in the previous class. So if there is any other doubt which is there for yeah, which you had in your previous, you can then just let me know. Okay, is my voice fine now? Is it fine now? So I hope it is fine. And if you have any
Sir,
other
sir,
doubt, yes.
sir, exam ಎಷ್ಟು ಲೆಂದಿ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಸರ್.
In exam, it is not if even if they give this kind of numerical, right? Even if they give this kind of plan, okay, if they give this kind of plan, not so many items of work will be asked. Okay, not so many items. So here you can see 12 number of items are there. Okay, so usually they ask only a maximum up to 5. Okay, maximum up to 5 or 6 they ask, and not all the work that we have calculated. Just for a understanding, we have calculated, and in the exam, any among these 12 may be asked. Okay, any among these 12 may be asked. Maybe for some 5 or 6 items may be asked, but not all of these items will be asked. Only some 5 or 6 out of this 12. Okay, do not think that only first 5 will be asked. Any of these items will be asked of the 12. So this numerical we have just solved because for you to understand how it is done. Okay, so any other doubt if you have in this residential building which we have solved, you can just ask. So before we move on to the next numerical. Okay, so I hope your doubt is cleared. That is why 50% is deducted for openings, and then we will move on to the next numerical. Okay, we will move on to the next numerical. So that is your residential building. Okay, this is also a residential building. Okay, so this is also a residential building. So earthwork in excavation, see, only 3 quantities have been asked here to calculate. Okay, only 3 quantities have been asked, and they have not given us which method to be used. Okay, which method we need to use for this numerical. So what we will do is we will solve using both the methods. Okay, we will solve using both the methods, that is your long wall short wall method, and as well as your center line method, so that we can have a comparison. Okay, we can have a comparison between both those methods. So we will solve it using both the methods. So only 3 of your quantities have been asked. You can see we have earthwork in excavation, then you have UCR masonry. So what do you mean by this UCR? So it is uncoached rubble masonry. Okay, uncoached rubble masonry. It is not like brickwork. It is uncoached rubble masonry. I hope you can recall what you have studied in your third semester, right? Uncoached rubble masonry. So it is in cement mortar 1:6 in foundation and plinth. Okay, so it is given in this part, foundation and plinth. So this is made up of uncoached rubble masonry, and this part is your brickwork. Okay, so superstructure part is your brickwork. So brickwork in cement mortar 1:5, and the thickness is 30 centimeters. Okay, thickness of your wall, it is 30 centimeter. So you can see we have one kitchen, then we have one living room, and then we have a bedroom. Okay, you can just look into your plan. Then we have one number of door over here, which is represented as capital D, and then we have 2 smaller doors. Okay, we have 2 smaller doors which are represented as D1. Let us just count how many windows we have. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, and all of these windows are similar. Okay, so they are represented as capital W. So this is the schedule of openings which will be given to you, and along with this we have our cross section which is shown over here. So this is kitchen. You can see the width of your kitchen is 3 meters, right? And also the width of your bedroom is also 3 meters. So it is similar in width, and our living room is also similar in width. That is, it is 3 meters. Okay, so that is there. Then the center line I have drawn in red. Okay, I hope you can see the center line. Center line I have drawn in red. So this is a center line of your plan. So moving on to the cross section, let me just explain the cross section. So you have RCC roof. You can see you have an RCC roof which is 12 centimeters in thickness. That is 0.12 meter thick. Okay, and you have a projection of roof that is 0.1. So we will not deal with this calculation because you can see in the numerical they have not asked us to calculate the RCC work. Okay, not asked us to calculate the RCC work. So we will not be dealing with this RCC roof. So you can see lintel, they have given the thickness of lintel is 0.515 meters. The thickness of the lintel. Floor to floor height is 3 meters. And the foundation work is in UCR, okay, uncoached rubble masonry work. It is in stone. And then width of your foundation, you can see it is 0.9. And this is a ground level. This is the what is required for excavation, right? This is the depth which we need to excavate. And then this is our width of foundation, and your foundation, you can see it is in 2 steps. Okay, this is your first this is from starting from bottom. This is our first step, which is 0.6 meters in width, and then your second step, which is 0.45 meters in width. Okay, so I hope it is clear. So moving on to your calculation, what we do is first we calculate using your centerline method. Okay, we will utilize centerline method, and then we will move on to long wall short wall method. So you can see this is your center line which we have drawn. Okay, we have drawn our center line, and you can see that we have separated walls like L1. This is your L1 wall, right? So this is your L1. This is also your L1. Okay, so L1 are 2 in number. This is one of your L1 wall, and this is also having the same length, right? So this is also L1. Then this is your L2. Okay, this is your L2. You can see it is mentioned, and this wall is also the same width as your L2. Okay, this plus this. Okay, this wall plus this wall is equal to the length L2, right? So we have 2 number of L2 walls, right? 2 number of L2. This is 2 in number L1, and L3 we have 2 in number. This is 1 wall, and this is 1 more wall. Okay, so this is also 2 in number, and 1 wall we are left out. Okay, 1 wall we are left out. So this is the wall which we are left out, right? This one we are left out with. So it is the wall between your bedroom and your kitchen, right? It is between your kitchen and your living room. Okay, so this wall is between kitchen and your living room. So let us look into how we calculate our center to center lines of your L1, L2, L3, and our individual wall over here. So this length, if you just look into your plan, what it will be? So it will be 0.15 starting from the top. Okay, so half of your wall thickness. So it is 0.15 plus 2.5, which is the width of your kitchen, right? 2.5 plus 0.3, that is your wall, right? A wall between kitchen and living. So it is 0.3 plus your living room breadth, that is 5 meters, which is given. Okay, 5 meters plus half of your wall thickness, that is 0.15. So that is what you can see over here. L1 it is given. So it is starting from bottom. They have started from bottom. That is 0.15 is the half of your wall thickness plus 5 meters, which is your living room width, plus 0.3 meters, that is your wall, plus 2.5, which is kitchen width, and then half of your wall thickness. So it is coming up to 8.1. So L1 is 8.1. So this L1 is 8.1. Then moving on to L2. Okay, moving on to L2. So you can see it is half of this wall width, 0.15 plus 3 meters, right? Plus this wall thickness, that is 0.3 plus 3 meters plus half of a wall thickness over here. So that will be L2. Okay, that will be L2. That is equal to 6.6. Now moving on to L3, this wall. So it will be half of your wall thickness over here. Then it will be 3.8 plus half of your wall thickness over here. That is 0.15. that is your wall thickness L3. So it is coming up to 4.1. Okay, 4.1. So this we need this individual wall length, right? We need this one. So this width is 3 meters, right? Width is 3 meters plus your half of your wall thickness here plus half of your wall thickness over here. So it will be 3.3 meters, right? So it will be 3.3. So the wall between living room and kitchen, right? So it will be 3.3. So if you add all of this, okay, if you add, as I've told you, this is 2 in number. So 2 into L1, right? And this L2 is also 2 in number. So 2 into L2 plus L3 is 1 in number, right? L3, I think L3 is, all right, L3 is 1 in number, sorry, L3 is 1 because this wall is already covered while we are calculating L1. So this wall we have covered L1 into 2, right? And this wall we have covered L2 into 2, that is this and this wall. And then L3 is 1, L3 is 1 in number. And then we are left out with this one. Okay, so adding up all of this, adding up, so we get a total centerline length that is 36.8. Okay, so this is your total centerline length. That is what I have represented here in your red color. Okay, so this is the total centerline length. So I hope the calculation of centerline length is clear. It is similarly what we have done in the previous example. Same method we have used, and we have calculated the centerline lengths. So after the calculation of centerline length, right? After the calculation, we move on to the calculate the number of junctions. Okay, number of junctions. So let us just look into our plan. So if you look into your plan, you can see how many number of T junctions you have, how many number of T junctions. So this you can see, you can observe it is a T. So this is your first junction. Then you can observe a T over here. So this is your second junction. Then we have one more junction over here. That is third number of T junction. And the last one you can see you have a T junction over here. So we have 4 number of T junctions. So this is not considered to be a junction because you can see it is L shape and it is not T shape. These corners, these are corners, but these are not junctions. Okay, all of these are corners, but these are not junctions. You can see how many number of junctions, 1, 2, 3, and 4 number of T junctions we have. So that is what you write down as N, capital N. Okay, capital N. So that is what is written over here. So capital N is equals to 4 in number. And the thing is, you can observe in your plan that all the walls are of the same thickness. Okay, all of these walls are of the same thickness. That is, it is 30 centimeter in thickness. All of the walls are 30 centimeter in thickness. And if any of the walls had different thicknesses, then we had to calculate the junctions differently, which we have done in a previous example, right? Wherein we had a 30 centimeter wall getting into 30 centimeter wall number of junctions we had calculated. Then we had calculated a 20 centimeter wall getting into 30 centimeter wall, that was represented as N1, right? And then 20 centimeter wall getting into 20 centimeter wall, that was N2 we had mentioned, and we had calculated the number of junctions separately for all of this. So but in this numerical you can observe that all of the wall thicknesses are the same. So the number of junctions, that is we have only one type, that is represented as capital N. Okay, and moving on to the calculation of your items of works. Okay, calculation of item of works. So the first item of work, that is always your earthwork in excavation in foundation. So always center line will be 1 in number, and this L calculation, right, length calculation, we have to use this formula. I have told you this formula. So L is equals to center line length minus number of junctions into width by 2. Okay, so center line length we have calculated, it is 36.8 minus number of junctions 4 into your width of your foundation, right? Width of your foundation, if you look into your cross section, it is given as 0.9, right? So 4 into 0.9 by 2. So calculation of this length, we get it as 35 meters. Okay, so your center line length is 35 meters, width of your foundation is 0.9, and the depth of your foundation, if you look into starting from ground level. Okay, starting from ground level, so starting from ground level 0.3 plus 0.5 plus your PCC bed, that is 0.15. So you get your depth of foundation from ground level to your foundation level as 0.95. Okay, so that is written over here, and if you multiply number into length into breadth into depth, you get your quantity. So that is what is done in your earthwork and excavation. Now moving on to UCR masonry and foundation. Okay, UCR masonry in foundation, that is uncoarse rubble masonry in foundation. So you can see we have divided it into three steps. We have divided it into three steps. So if you look into your cross section, just look into your cross section. Actually, we have two steps, right? We have actually two steps. So the second step, okay, the second step is divided up to ground level, and then from ground level to plinth. Okay. So the first step is below ground level, so no problem. So first step we can calculate, and the second step is divided like it is below ground level and above ground level. So that is what I have represented here. You can see above up to ground level and then above ground level. So the part above ground level, it is called as plinth. Okay, it is called as plinth foundation. So whatever is above your ground level, the foundation part, it is called as plinth. So all of these are one in number. Okay, all of these are one in number because we are calculating so using center line method. So calculating your length, okay, so using the same formula. Okay, using the same formula, widths are different. Okay, width of your first step, you can see it is 0.6. So we substitute 0.6 over here. And the width of your second step, okay, second step is 0.45. So we substitute 0.45, you can see. And then the width of your third step, okay, width of your third step is 0.45. So substituting 0.45. So you get your lengths, okay, you get your lengths in this using this formula. So coming to your height, okay, so you can see in your section your height of your first step, it is 0.5. Height of your first step is 0.5, and the height of your second step up to ground level is 0.3. Up to ground level is 0.3, and above ground level the height of your step is 0.45. So that is how you divide your height. So multiplying all these three values, you get your calculation of your UCR masonry in foundation and plinth. Okay, so I hope this is clear. This is very easy, nothing complicated about this calculation. So moving on to brickwork. Brickwork, we will see how we calculate brickwork. So it is you use your center line length, right? Using this formula, you calculate your center line length. That is 36.8 minus 4. This is your wall thickness, right? Which is mentioned over here. So width, that is our wall thickness, which is mentioned here. You substitute, you get your L value. Then height of floor to floor height, you can see in your section, it is given as 3 meters. So that is height of your height of your brickwork in superstructure, that is 3 meters. And then thickness of your wall, that is 0.3, and we have calculated the length. So multiplying all of this, you get your brickwork in superstructure, brickwork in superstructure. And then deductions. Okay, deductions for openings, it is by the same method that we use in the previous. So I hope you can be able to solve it. So what you have to do, you have to just assume 15 centimeter bearing on both the sides, and then you have to calculate this. So this is your thickness of your walls, right? 0.3 everywhere, thickness of your walls. And this is the height of your opening, height of your opening. So for door it is 2.1, and for window it is 1.4. And then this is your length of your opening layer, right? Length of your opening plus bearing on both the sides. Okay, plus bearing on this is for lintel. What we do is we use the length of your opening plus bearing on both the sides, plus bearing on both the sides. So this is your directly what is your opening size. So this is your opening size, but here what you have to do is you have to add 0.5 and 0.5 on both the sides. So you get the bearing. Using your bearing, you get your lengths. So multiplying all of this and adding, so you get a 7.07 as the total number of deduction. 7.07 as the deduction. So from 32.58 you deduct 7.07. From 32.58 you deduct 7.07, and you get the net quantity of brickwork, that is 25.51. 25.51 is the net quantity of brickwork in superstructure. So I hope this is clear. So moving on to next, that is we will look into how we calculate the same thing, the same quantities using long wall and short wall, and we will compare that whether we get the same quantities, right? Whether we are getting the same quantities as we get in the center line method. So obviously you have to get the same quantity because both the methods are accurate, and they have to give same quantities, right? If they do not give same quantity, then you have done some mistake while solving it. You have done some mistake while solving. So in long wall, short wall, what we have to do, we have to divide. We have to divide our plan into long walls and short walls, right? We have to divide our plan, our walls into long walls and short walls. So let us just look into how we can divide our plan. So you can see this the blue color which I have represented. Okay, this blue color which I have represented is our long wall. So which we have represented as L1. Okay, so these are long walls, two number of long walls, right? So these are two in number. Okay, 1 and 2 which I have represented in blue color. Then this is your second long wall. Okay, L2. Okay, second long wall L2 which is only one in number. Okay, which is only one in number, which you can see I have represented in green color, which I have represented in green color. So because the lengths are different, we have to calculate long walls as differently. So long wall L1 and long wall L2. And then we are left out with these short walls. Okay, we are left out with these short walls. So this is your short wall. So this is your one short wall, right? And this is your second short wall. And then this is your third one. This is your fourth one. And this is your fifth one. So all of this we have represented as S1. Okay, all of this we have represented as S1 because all of these lengths are same, because you can observe here all of the all of these lengths are similar, right? So all of these we will represent it as S1. So how many number of S1 are there? So this is one wall, two walls, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so S1 are 5 in number. Okay, 5 in number. So L1 is 2 in number, L2 is 1 in number, and S1 is 5 in number. So we have calculated the center to center length, right? We have already calculated the center to center length of L1, L2, and this right? We have already calculated it during the centerline method. That is what we will be continuing with. So you can see L1, right? L1 is 8.1 and they are 2 in number, and L2 I have explained to you. So the length is 4.1 and it is 1 in number. And then short wall S1, they are 5 in number and the length is 3.3. So this is how you can divide your plan into various long walls and short walls. Okay, so you can now observe. So this is how we have divided our long walls and short walls. So moving on to your tabular column and your calculations. Moving on to tabular column and calculations. So always the first item of work, that is earthwork in excavation. So first we always calculate for long walls and then we move on to short walls. So long walls we have two types, right? Long walls we have two types, L1 and L2. So we have to calculate separately for L1 and separately for L2. So in the previous problems we had not done this this way. We had calculated long walls and short walls because they were same in number, and they were similar. So here what we have done is, because the length of my long walls are different, we have named them as L1 and L2, and we have to calculate the items of work separately for each of them. So number I have told you, they are 2 in number, L1, and L2 is 1 in number, right? So the width of my foundation is 0.9, which we have represented here, and the depth of my foundation is 0.95. So coming on to length calculation. You know how to calculate for length for a long wall. So what you have to do for center to center length, right? Center to center length, that is 8.1 and 4.1. We have to add our width. We have to add width. So for L1, center to center length is 8.1. We have to add our one width. We have to add, that is 0.9. We have width. We have to add, so it will be 9 meters. And for L2, center to center length is 4.1. Adding one width, that is 0.9. We get it as 5 meters. So that is what we have written over here. Okay. So number into length into breadth into depth, we get our quantities for long walls. Okay, we have calculated for long walls. So moving on to short walls. So short wall are only one type, that is S1, and they are 5 in number. And for length of calculation of your short wall, what we have to do, we have to reduce our width. So in long wall we add width, in short wall we reduce width. So from 3.3, which is your center line, center to center length of your short wall, we reduce 0.9. So you get 2.4 meters. So that is what is written over here, 2.5, and the width is same, that is 0.9, and the depth is also same. So you get your quantity in excavation for short wall. So addition of all of this, okay, addition of long walls and short walls will get you your total quantity of excavation 29.93. Okay, let us just look into whether we get it the same. Right, we have got the same value. You can see in center line we had got 29.93, and also in long wall short wall method we are getting the same quantity, that is 29.93. Okay, so this is there. Now moving on to your UCR, that is your foundation work. Moving on to foundation work. So your first step. Okay, so we have to calculate for first step, then we have to calculate for second step, and then for your second step in plinth. Okay, second step in plinth. Similarly, what we have done in your centerline method, we have to divide our second step into two parts, that is up to ground level and above ground level. So in first step, you can see we have to divide it as long walls and short walls, L1, L2, and S1. And in similarly, in second step, we have divided it into L1, L2, and S1. And in also plinth, we have divided it into L1, L2, and S1. So you have to follow this everywhere in all of this, all of your calculation. You have to divide it into L1, L2, and S1 everywhere. You can see it is done in all of these steps. So the numbers are similar everywhere. That is 2, 1, and 5. You can observe 2, 1, and 5. L1 are 2 in number, L2 is 1 in number, and your S1 are 5 in number. Okay, so width of your first step is 0.6, right? And the depth is 0.5. So that is what is written over here. And a length calculation. Okay, length calculation I've told you for L1. For long walls, we have to add our width, that is 0.6. And for short wall, we have to reduce our width. So that is what we have done, and we have written it over here. So multiplying this, we get our quantities in meter cube. Okay, meter cube. In your second step, okay, in your second step, up to your ground level, that is your depth is 0.3. Okay, depth is 0.3, and your width is 0.45, and the length calculation I've told you how you do. For long walls, you have to add width, and for short wall, we have to reduce the width. So that is how you get your length, and multiplying this, you get your quantities in meter cube. Then for plinth work, you can see in your section, the height of your plinth work is 0.45. The width will be same as it is here, that is same, and your length will also be same. Okay, length will also be same. Because the width is same, your calculation what you do here will be similar. So the same thing will be continued over here. So your total quantity of your brickwork, okay, gross, UCR masonry, okay, it will be 22.8 meter cube. Okay, so this is for your foundation work. Now moving on to your brickwork. Okay, moving on to your brickwork. So you can see we have divided into long wall, short wall. Similarly, the number is also given 2, 1, and 5, and the thickness of your wall is 0.3, and the height of your wall is 3 meters. Okay, it is similar for long walls as well as short walls. So for length calculation, the same method we will use. We will add one width and we will reduce one width in short walls. In long walls, we add one width, and in short walls, we deduct one width. So that is how you get your length. So multiplying all of this, you get your gross quantity, right? We have got our gross quantity of brickwork. Okay. So for deductions, the same method which we have used in your centerline method, right? The same method we will adopt here, and we will calculate the deduction, the quantity of deduction. So it is 7.07. 7.07. So from 32.58, we deduct our openings, and this is what we get. That is your net quantity. Okay, net quantity of our brickwork, that is 25.51, which is the same quantity which we have got using our centerline method. Okay, using our centerline method. So this is your numerical dealing with both centerline method as well as your long wall, short wall method. So if you have any doubts, you can just let me know in your comment section, or whether you can just unmute and you can just talk. So student, just let me know which method you have found easy, whether you have found the centerline method easy, or whether you find long wall, short wall method easy. Just let me know in chat. So you can just type in chat and you can vote whether you have found which method is you found which is easy, whether it is centerline method or whether long wall, short wall. So I have solved the numerical using both the methods, and you can have a comparison. So just let me know which method you found is easy, whether long wall, short wall is easy, or whether centerline method is easy. So Pradeep says long wall, short wall is easy. Others can also type in which method you found was easy, whether which method you found easy to understand. You just let me know in chat. Others also please type. Okay, both are very easy, right? So center line method, some are saying center line method, center line. So yes, deductions I will explain again, just a minute. I will explain deductions, how we have calculated deductions. Okay, center line method, center line. So words are almost equal. Some are saying center line, some are saying long wall, short wall. So it is in between. Some are saying both. Some are saying both. Some talented students are saying right, both of the methods are easy. So do not solve by both the methods in exam. Okay, so do not solve by both the methods in exam. Adopt any one of your method. Okay, adopt any one of your method while solving it in exam. Whichever method you found easy, so you can adopt that method. So the thing is, I will tell you. So long wall, short wall method, it is easy, right? Long wall, short wall is easy, but it is lengthy. Okay, it is lengthy. So in exam, you will take it will take more time to solve. But centerline method, it is short. Okay, centerline method is short, but it is a bit complicated compared to long wall, short wall. Okay. So Aziz says to explain centerline method. So what I will do is, Aziz, in your next numerical, okay, next numerical, which we will be solving using centerline. So there your centerline method I will explain, okay, next numerical, which we will be solving using centerline method. So your doubt will be cleared there. So I will just explain once more your deduction part, okay, which your student, your friend has a doubt in. So deduction part I will explain. So if any other thing is there, you can let me know. So in exam, you can see in the numerical that they have not mentioned any of the method, right? Any of the method is not mentioned. So in exam, you can solve using any of the two methods, okay? In any of the two methods, whichever you find easy, okay? So you can solve using any of the two methods in exam. So if they specify particularly to solve using center line or long wall, short wall, if they specify, then you have to solve it by that method. And usually they do not specify, okay, usually they do not specify, so you can go with any of the methods. So while centerline method, be careful while calculating the number of junctions, okay. Usually students go wrong while counting the number of junctions. So centerline method, it is short, but it is a bit complicated. The long wall, short wall method is lengthy, okay, it is lengthy, but it is easy compared to centerline method. So any of your method you can use. So let me just explain how we have calculated the deductions, okay. So net quantity, gross quantity we have calculated, okay. We have calculated the gross quantity of your superstructure, brickwork in superstructure. So coming for openings, okay, coming for openings. So number of doors D, okay, number of doors D. You can just observe in your plan, they are one in number. They are one in number. And the number of doors D1, okay, number of doors D1 are two in number. And the number of windows, okay, number of windows you can see in your plan are 8 in number, okay. So these are numbers, number of doors D, number of doors D1, and number of windows. So and you can see in the schedule of openings, okay, in the schedule of openings, which is given just below your plan. So the sizes of your doors are given, sizes of your doors are doors, windows, and your ventilators are given. Okay, but this plan does not have any ventilators. You can see this is just an example problem wherein there is no water closet and there is no bathroom which is provided, right? You can see. So this is just a dummy or an example problem for you to understand. This residential building is not ideal. You can see there is no toilet and bathroom which is given over here. So usually your toilets and bathrooms will be having ventilators, okay. They will not be having any windows, they will be having ventilators. So in the schedule of opening, they have given your sizes of your openings, right? So that is what is written over here. So this is your length, this is your breadth of your this is your breadth of your wall, okay. So this is the thickness of your wall, and this is your width or your height of your opening, okay, height of your opening. You can see in the schedule of openings, the door D is 1.2 meter in length and it is 2.1 meter in height, okay, 2.1 meter in height. And the door D1, it is 1 meter in length and 2.1 meter in height, and the windows are 1.2 meter in length, and the height of your windows are 1.5 meters. So multiplying this, right, multiplying your number by length, breadth, and height, you get your quantity of your openings. Okay, opening quantities, that is in meter cube you get. Then deduction for lintel. Okay, so whenever you have an opening, so we need to provide a lintel. Okay, so this is your opening, right? So we need to provide a lintel. Like this, we need to provide a lintel. So this lintel has some bearing. Okay, so you have some amount of bearing over here. So this bearing is usually 15 centimeter. Okay, 15 centimeter over here, 15 centimeter over here. So for door D, okay, D, which is 1.2 meter in length. Okay, so this is 1.2 meters. So adding 15 centimeter this and adding 15 centimeter this, the length which you get is 1.5. So that is what is written over here, 1.5, and this is our wall thickness, and this is the thickness of our lintel. Okay, this is the thickness of our lintel. You can see it is given in your section. So it is also 15 centimeters. So that is written over here. That is your height of your lintel. So for similarly, what you do, you calculate for doors D1 and for windows W, and you get your quantities. So once you add all of this, okay, once you add from here up to here, you get your deduction, that is 7.07 meter cube. So from this gross quantity 32.58, when you reduce 7.07, you get your net quantity, that is 25.51. Okay, so I hope deduction is clear. Your deduction part is clear.
Hello, sir.
Yes, Aziz.
Sir, in some case, length of the lintel is equal to the length of the wall also, no, sir?
Length of the wall, how is it equal to length? Okay, so you are talking about all around lintel. Okay, so
Yes,
all
sir.
around lintel, wherein it runs continuously throughout your plan. Okay, just let me scroll up.
Yes, sir.
Here it will be like it will be running throughout, right? Like this, it will be running continuously.
Yes,
it will
sir.
not be broken up. So that will be mentioned in your schedule. Okay, it will be mentioned here whether a lintel is all around or whether it is broken up. So in this, it is not all around lintel. If it was all around lintel, it would have been mentioned. Okay. And if it is mentioned, what you have to do is you have to just calculate the center line, right? Center line.
Yes, sir.
Center line you have to calculate, and that will be that itself will be your length of your lintel. Okay, length of your
Yes, sir.
lintel, but you have to deduct your number of junctions. Okay, number of junctions also need to be deducted. Same this formula you have to use, right?
Yes,
L
sir.
is equals to CL minus N into B by 2. You have to adopt, and you have to calculate the length, and the width will be same, that is width of your thickness of your wall, and the depth of your, that is height, will be 0.15, and then you can calculate your all around lintel. Okay, so that is
Okay,
there.
sir.
That will be mentioned. Okay, that will be mentioned in your numerical. Okay, and then you can calculate it using that method.
Sir, ಅದು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಡಯಾಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಒಳಗೆ L2 2 ನಂಬರ್ಸ್ ಯಾಕೆ ತಗೊಂಡಿರಿ?
First diagram L2.
ಹಾ ಸರ್.
L-ray.
ಹಾ ಸರ್, ಇಲ್ಲಿ.
This one.
ಹಾ.
Okay.
ಹಾ.
Here you can just observe. Okay, so here. So L1 you have understood. I hope L1 you have understood. They are two in number. Okay, this one and this one. Okay, L1 are two in number, but L2. Okay, so what is this length? This length and this length will be similar. No, this plus this. That will be equal to L2 itself. This is 3 meters. No, 3 meters plus 3 meters is equal to 6 meters, which is the length of your L2, right? Plus your this center to center if you take. So just as an example, if you take, so this length L2 will be what? 3 plus 3 meters, right? It will be 6 meters. L2 will be 6 now. So if you just add this also, this wall plus this wall, so it will be 3 meters plus 3 meters, which is also equal to 6 meters, right? So what we take L2 as 2 in number. This one wall we consider, and this wall we consider it as 1. Okay. So this is why we consider L2 as 2 in number, and L3 also similarly 2 in number, and this is one individual wall. Okay, this is one individual wall. Clear ಆಯ್ತ್ರಿ?
ಎಸ್ ಸರ್. ಅದು ಇನ್ನೊಂದ್ರಾಗ L2 ನಾನು ಶಾರ್ಟ್ ವಾಲ್ ಅಂತ ತಗೋಬೋದನ್ ಸರ್?
ಯಾವ್ದ್ರಿ?
ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಡಯಾಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಐತಲ್ ಸರ್, ಅದ.
ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ?
ಹಾ ಸರ್, ಇದ್ರ.
ಯಾವ್ದ್ರಿ? ಯಾವ್ದು ವಾಲ್?
L2.
L2. ಇಲ್ಲ. You cannot take it as this thing, because all of these walls, right? So this is consider this as y-axis if you consider, and this as x-axis. So all the walls which are in y-axis you have to consider as long wall, and all the walls which are in x-axis you have to consider as short walls. So these
ಅವು
which are
ಲೆಂತ್
perpendicular.
ನೋಡ್ಬಾರ್ದನ್ ಸರ್?
No, the thing as length. Okay, so it may be shorter than your short wall. Length of your long wall may be shorter than your shorter wall, but it does not matter. Length is not of concern over here. Okay, remember this point. So always
Yes.
perpendicular walls you have to take as long walls and short walls. Any other thing, any other doubt which you have? So similar doubts others might also be having, so that doubts are cleared. Any other thing if you have, you can just ask, or else we will move on to your next numerical. So all of these which we are solving are load bearing. Okay, so all of these are load bearing structures wherein they do not have any columns. Okay, do not have any RCC columns. So all of the loads are handled by your walls, and then they transfer to your foundation. Okay, so that is a load bearing structure. So moving on to next numerical. So this is your interesting numerical wherein you have a semicircular wall over here, right? So architects provide this kind of walls, right? Wherein it is a semicircular and not a regular straight wall. So you can see this is the plan which we have been provided with. Okay, so the overall length they have given. Okay, overall length you can see from out to out they have given it is 8.1. Okay, 8.1. You can observe it is 8.1, and this also out to out they have given it is 6.3. Okay, 6.3. And then two rooms you have. This is room 1, this is room 2, and the sizes of your rooms are similar. Okay, so this is 3.6 by 3, this is also 3.6 by 3. Okay, so 3.6 is this length, right? 3.6, and this is your width or breadth of your wall, the breadth of your room, that is 3 meters. So this is also 3.6 by 3. Okay, so these rooms are similar in dimensions. So your veranda, we're coming to our veranda, this is in, this is 3.6, and this is 2.4. Okay, 2.4. And then this room, okay, this room, if you just look into, so this is 2.4 up to here. Okay, up to this point, it is 2.4. And then this radius they have given it is 1.8. Okay, the radius from here up to here it is given as 1.8, and the width of this room is 3.6. Okay, width of this, or the length of this room is 3.6. This is 3.6, and this is 2.4. Okay, so and number of doors you can see now we have 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, 4 number of doors, and then windows you can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, and the 7 number of windows W. Okay, and this is a different one. Okay, this one is W1. Okay, so this is W1, and the dimension. Okay, length 1 meter is your arc length. Okay, it is your arc length. So this is 1 meter, and the 1.5 meter is your height of your window. Okay, we just observe this is your height of your window 1.35, and this is your arc length which is given as 1 meter. Okay, it is not the straight length, it is not given as straight, it is the curve length which is given, which is 1 meter. So that is W1. Then look into your section, look into your cross section. So just look into your cross section. The floor to floor height is 3 meters. Okay, floor to floor height is 3 meters, and then you have foundation work that is in 3 steps. Right, this is above ground level 1 step you have, and below ground level you have 2 steps. And then we have PCC work, which is 0.9 meter in width and 30 centimeter in height. So this is brick masonry. Okay, brick masonry in cement mortar 1:6, and you can observe there is no mention of wall thickness over here. Can you see whether they have mentioned wall thickness anywhere? You can observe that there is no mention of wall thickness anywhere. You can see in this numerical there is no mention of wall thickness, right? So we need to calculate the first thing, that is your wall thickness. First thing which we need to calculate is your wall thickness, because that is not mentioned. And observe that this is 0.4, so this will be around 0.3, right? You can just observe this thickness, they have given it as 0.4. So this thickness we can just
wall thickness is mentioned, sir.
Where it is mentioned?
Sir, above the door.
Above door.
Sir,
Yes. So wall thickness is 0.3 meters. Okay, so you can observe here it is given a nice observation. So you can see it is 0.3. Okay, so it is 0.3. Wall thickness is 0.3. So that is there. So if wall thickness was not given, this is what you can calculate. So this is out to out, right? It is given as 8.1 meters, right? Out to out is 8.1. So from 8.1, you have to reduce 3.6, and you have to reduce 3.6. That will give you your overall thickness. That is this thickness is left out, right? This and this. So it is 0.9 meters. So 8.1 minus 3.6 minus 3.6, we are left with 0.9, and that is what is given for 3 walls. So divided by 3 will give me my individual wall thickness, that is 0.3. Okay, so we have cross verified. So it is 0.3 meters, and you can observe that all of the wall thicknesses are same. Okay, in your plan, if you observe, all of the wall thicknesses are same, and we do not have a different kind of walls. All of the walls are same, so much of our work is reduced because the wall thickness is same. Much of our work is reduced, right? If wall thicknesses are different, then the problem becomes a bit complicated, right? So if they give different in exam, okay, in exam, if they give different wall thicknesses and they give different foundations, okay, which is I think the second or third numerical which we had solved, right? Which had 2 different type of walls, right? Internal walls were different and external walls were different, right? So if that kind of numerical is given, then the quantities which you have to calculate, right? Items of quantities, they will be less in number. Only some 3 or some 4 amount will be given. And if you have this kind of numerical wherein all the walls are similar, okay, all the walls are similar, they will ask you to calculate some 5 or 6 quantities, okay? So depending upon the plan, so they will tell you a number of quantities which need to be calculated. So you can see in this, we have been asked only 3 quantities to be calculated, okay? Only 3 quantities. That is, first is earthwork in excavation, right? Second is brickwork in superstructure, okay? Brickwork in superstructure, and then cement plastering for both inside and outside, okay? So we are not dealing with this foundation work. We are not dealing with this foundation work. We are only dealing with excavation in foundation, and we are not dealing with this PCC work or this size stone masonry. We are only dealing with this brickwork in your superstructure. So much of our work is reduced over here. Okay, so even if they ask, it is easy, and similarly, which how we have solved using your previous numerical, right? Similar type, you can solve this even if they ask your foundation work in size stone masonry. Okay, so no need to worry. So in this, you have only 3 quantities which you have to calculate. That is earthwork, then brickwork in superstructure, and your cement plastering for your walls inside and outside. So this is the center line which you can observe I have drawn for this plan. Okay, so they do not provide your center line. So this is for your reference which I have drawn. Okay, so this is the center line, and first thing which we have to calculate. Okay, first thing which you have to calculate is your center to center distance of your wall, center to center distance of your various long walls and short walls. So this method we are solving using long wall and short wall. Okay, so look, they have mentioned in the numerical that you have to adopt long wall and short wall methods. Okay, so since they have mentioned that we have to solve this using long wall, short wall, what we will be doing is we will be solving this method using long wall and short wall. So the radius of curved portion, you can see the radius of the curved portion, they have given it as 1.8. So this is in, right? It is given from inside of your wall. So mean radius we will calculate now. Mean radius RM. Okay, so it will be what? This R plus half of your wall thickness, right? Plus half of this wall thickness. This center line which I have drawn, right, for this wall, it will be going up to that, from here center going up to this center line. So that is your RM. So RM will be R 1.8 plus your wall thickness by 2. So that is how you get 1.95 mean radius. Then center line for your curved portion. So center line for this is easy to calculate, right, when it is a rectangular shape. But when it is a curved shape, right, from this part, right, let me just zoom in. So from this center line, right, from this part up to this part. So we need to calculate the center line length, right? This center line length we have to calculate. So how do you calculate the center line? We need to use the formula for circle, right? We need to use this formula for circle. So what is the formula for calculating the perimeter of a circle? Perimeter of a circle, it is 2 pi r. Okay, it is 2 pi r. So, but here you can observe it is a semicircle, right? It is a semicircle. It is not a complete circle. So you have to divide it by 2, right? Because it is half a circle. So this 2 and 2 will cancel. So we are left out with pi r. Okay. So that is what we are doing here. You can see it is pi r. So the center line length for a curved portion will be pi into rm. So rm we know it is 1.95. So pi into rm we get the center line length for a curved portion. Okay. So this is how we calculate. Next, center line distance for our long wall L1. Okay, center line distance for our long wall L1. So I have just drawn the center line length so that it is easier for you to understand. So this is what I've considered as long wall. Okay, L1. Okay, you can see in red. So you can observe in red. So this is my first long wall L1, and they are 2 in number. You can observe this is 1, and this is your second. So L1 are 2 in number. Okay. So coming to L2, so this is your L2. So this I have mentioned in dark black color, right? Black color. So this is only 1 in number. Okay, 1 in number. And coming to S1. Okay, S1. So this is in blue, represented in blue. Can see how many in number? 3 in number. 1, 2, and 3. Moving on to S2, you can observe S2 we have considered only 1. Only 1 we have considered S2, and S3 what we have considered it as 2 in number. Okay, you can observe it as in green color. Okay, I have colored it in green. So S2 is 1 in number, and S3 is 2 in number, and this is your individual curved length. Okay, individual curved length which we have calculated, right? So all of these are center lines. Okay, all of these are center to center length. Okay, so I have represented that over here in different colors. Okay, I have represented all of that in different colors, which I have drawn over here. So this is the length and this is the number. So let us look into how we calculate the length. So for a first long wall L1, okay, first long wall L1. So it will be this half of a wall thickness here, right? So that is 0.15. So plus your in-to-in distance, plus your wall thickness, plus your in-to-in distance, plus half of your wall thickness. So that is one method you can calculate to a method you can adopt to calculate your L1. Okay, you can adopt this method, or what you can do is since they have given us the out distance, right? They have given us the out distance. You can observe here the out distance is given as 8.1, right? 8.1. So from out, if you just reduce half of my wall thickness here and half of my wall thickness here, you will get the center line length of the long wall L1, right? So that is what they have done over here. You can observe 8.1 minus half of my wall thickness on one side and half of my wall thickness on other side. You can get the center line length as 7.8, and they are 2 in number, right? 1 and 2.
Hello, sir.
Yes, Aziz.
Sir, in last example, you told that long wall should be on y-axis.
Meaning in that we had taken in y-axis, but here we have taken the x-axis because you can observe these walls are longer in length compared to these walls. Okay, so it may vary. You may take in y-axis, in x-axis, or in y-axis, but whichever axis you take, you have to continue it in that axis. So we have continued this in x-axis. So all the walls in x-axis we have taken it as long walls. Okay, and all the walls in y-axis we have taken as short walls. So you may take it as opposite also. Depends on the individual. Okay, it may not be just like all the walls in x-axis have to be short walls, or all the walls in y-axis have to be long walls. It depends upon the numerical. Whichever wall you find is longer, right? Whichever wall you find is longer, you can adopt that wall as a long wall. Okay. So I hope it is clear.
Yes, sir.
ಸರ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಲೆಂತ್ ನೋಡ್ಬೇಡ ಅಂದ್ರಲ್ರಿ ನೀವು?
Howdo, you can adopt this also as long wall. Okay, you can adopt this as long wall. So you can adopt this entire thing as long wall. So it will be 2 in number, right? This one and this one, right? And then you can adopt this as short walls. So the length node bardri length just for our convenience. Okay, since it is mentioned as long wall, so we take whichever is longer in length, we take as long wall. Whichever is shorter in length, we can take as short wall. So you can observe here. So this long wall, okay, this long wall is almost equal to this, right? It is almost equal, or you can observe it is almost shorter than the short wall, right? So length does not matter. Only axis you have to take into account. So perpendicular should be your short wall. So whichever axis you take as long wall, so perpendicular wall should be your short walls. Okay, always remember. So length they may be shorter, they may be longer. Does not matter. Okay, does not matter. Your calculation will be the same. Okay, it will be same as your center line method. They will not be different. Okay, so I hope it is clear. Any other doubt if you have, you can just ask. Okay, so L1 we have calculated as 7.8, right? L1 we have calculated as 7.8. Next, moving on to L2. Okay, moving on to L2, which is this wall. Okay, which is this wall. So just look into this. It will be what? So it will be half of this wall thickness, right? 0.15 plus this veranda, plus this veranda, which is 3.6 meters, plus half of this wall thickness. Okay, plus half of this wall thickness. So it will be 0.15, 0.15 plus 3.6 plus 0.15. So that is what is given over here. Right, it is given over here L2. Okay, it is given over here. So it is 3.9. Okay, and it is only one in number. Okay, one in number. So they have not mentioned it. So it is one in number. So moving on to short wall. Okay, short wall 1 and short wall 1 we will look into short wall 1. So short wall 1 is here, right? It is here. So it will be half of my wall thickness here, 0.15 plus this distance, that is 3 meters, right? 3 meters plus half of my wall thickness over here, which is 0.15. So it will be how much? So it will be 2.3 meters. Okay, 3 meters. So 0.15 plus 3 plus 0.15. So it is 3.3, and it is 3 number, right? It is 1, 2, and 3 number. Okay. So this is for your short wall 1, and if you observe short wall number 2, okay, if you observe short wall number 2, so this thing, short wall number 2. So you can see it is 0.15 plus 2.4 plus 0.15. Okay, so it is 0.15 plus 2.4 plus 0.15. So that is your distance for a short wall S2. Now moving on to S3. Okay, moving for short wall S3. So you can observe here S3 is what? So it is 0.15 plus 2.4. Okay, plus 2.4. There is no wall over here. There is no wall over here. So we need not add. So we need not add 0.15 by 2 over here. Okay, because there is no wall in this side. So it will be 0.15 plus 2.4. So it will be what? This here you can observe 0.15 plus 2.4. So that is 2.55, and it is 2 in number, and it is 2 in number. So S3 you can observe it is 1 and it is 2. So it is 2 in number. So that is what we have done over here. So moving on to your next thing. Moving on to next thing, that is your this is done. This is all of these are done, right? So we have calculated all of this center line length, center to center length of all our walls. We have calculated, right? We have not left out any of the walls. We have calculated all of this. So this is what I've mentioned here, right? L1, L2, S1, S2, S3 with their length and with their number. And this is the color which they have been represented over here, so that you have a clear idea of how our long walls and short walls are divided, and how we can differentiate between them. So moving on to next thing, that is your calculation part. Okay, calculation part. So your first part is your always it is earthwork in excavation. Okay, and they have told us to calculate the earthwork in excavation. So we will be calculating earthwork in excavation in ordinary soil. Okay, so different parts we will calculate differently, right? So a long wall L1, and then long wall L2, okay, and then short wall, and then veranda short wall, that is S1, S2, and this is S3. Okay, S1, S2, S3, L1, L2, L1, L2, S1, S2, S1, S2, S3, and this is your curved portion. Okay, curved portion, that is this portion. So L1, remember this is L1, this is L2, S1, S2, and S3. Okay, and remember the number, that is L1 are 2 in number, L2 is 1 in number, S1 is 3 in number, S2 is 1 in number, and S3 is 2 in number. Okay, so remember this. So curved portion, right? This is over here. Curved portion is only 1 in number, right? And then I've told you long wall are 2 in number, L1, L2, S1, S2, and then this is S3. Okay, so this is just shifted down. Okay, so So this is not total. This is for your short wall. S3, okay, they are 2 in number. So length calculation, right? Length calculation I've told you for long walls, okay. For long walls, what we have to do, we have to add our width, okay. We have to add our width, and for short wall, what we have to do, we have to reduce our width. So our width, you can see it is 0.9, which is common in all our walls. All our walls, our width is common, and the depth of our foundation is also common in all our walls. So width, what you have to do, in long walls you have to add, and in short walls you have to deduct. So that is how you get your lengths, okay. Center to center length we know, which I have mentioned here, right? So from 7.8 plus 0.9 plus 0.9, and here you have to reduce 0.9, reduce 0.9, and reduce 0.9. So that is how you get your length. So multiplying number by length into breadth into depth, you get your quantities. Okay, you get your quantities. So this is for your earthwork in excavation. Earthwork in excavation. Now moving on to brickwork. Moving on to brickwork. So in curved portion, okay, curved portion. So this is 1 in number, L1, L2, S1, S2, and this is S3. Okay, this is S3. So brickwork, you know, thickness it is mentioned, wall thickness it is 0.3, right? It is 0.3, and the floor to floor height is 3 meters. And you can observe it is same for all of our walls. The floor to floor height and the wall thicknesses are same. Then moving on to length calculation, similarly what we have done here. So we have to add our wall thickness, that is 0.3 for long walls, and for short walls what we do is we reduce our wall thicknesses. But you can observe here up to here our method is same, okay. Up to here our method is same, but here you can observe it is 2.55 minus only 1, okay. Only minus 1 we have done. So why is this? Okay, because we have only one wall, right? At here also you can observe, right? Here also you can observe that this S3, okay, S3. Okay. For this S3, what you have to do, since we do not have a wall over here, right? We do not have a wall over here. While reducing, we have to reduce only one thickness and not the other one. Okay, because only one wall is present over here, and there is no wall over here. So for S3, what we need to do is only one we have to reduce, and minus 0.9 by 2 is absent over here. So only one we have to reduce here. So for S3, remember, only once you have to reduce your half of your wall thickness. Okay, half of your wall thickness, because only one wall is present and one wall is absent. So this is one thing you have to remember. So using this, we can calculate our first class brickwork, right? First class brickwork. So it is coming up to 38.48. So this is your gross quantity. Okay, so this is your gross quantity G. Okay, gross quantity. So coming for deductions. Okay, for deductions, the same method which we have adopted in the previous numerical. Using the same method, we have to calculate the deductions. So door D are 4 in number, windows are 7 in number, and this is 1 in number. So these are your directly your sizes, right? Length and your height, and this is your wall thickness. So you get our quantity in meter cube. And for lintels, okay, for lintels, what you have to do, you have to assume 15 centimeter thick lintel, and you have to assume bearing, okay, assume bearing 15 centimeter on either side. So for this length, what you have to do, you have to add 0.3. So 1.2 plus 0.3, it is 1.5. So similarly, you calculate all the length. So this thickness will be similar, right? Wall thickness is similar, and this is your thickness of your lintel, that is 15 centimeter thick RCC lintel. So you get a deduction. So the deduction quantity is 7.63, right? 7.63. So from gross quantity, you have to deduct 7.63, and you get your net quantity, right? You get your net quantity, that is 30.82. 30.82. So I hope this brickwork calculation and your earthwork calculation is clear. Okay, I hope your earthwork and your brickwork calculation is clear. So moving on to last, okay, the third quantity which they have asked us to calculate, right? The third quantity which they have asked us is your cement plastering. Okay, cement plastering for both inside wall as well as your outside wall, right? Outside wall as well as your inside wall. So for inside walls, right? Inside walls. So we need to calculate for room 1 inside walls, room 2, veranda, which is provided, and your room 3. Okay, room 3. So room 1, room 2, veranda, and room 3. So let me just scroll up. So this is your room 1, right? Room 1, room 2, room 3, and your veranda. So inside part we need to plaster. Okay, inside part of this, all of this we need to plaster. So that is our inside plastering. So that will calculate first. Okay, inside plastering we will calculate. So the length. Okay, just observe length and your height. Length of my perimeter, right, of my room 1. Okay, perimeter of my room 1 I need to calculate. So this inside length I need to calculate. So how do I calculate the perimeter into in, right? They have given the into in distances, right, in our plan. That is 3.6 into 3 meters, right? 3.6 into 3 meters for my room 1. Okay, that is the room dimension into in which they have provided. So perimeter, how I calculate? So 3.6 plus 3 into 2. Okay, so that is nothing but this perimeter which I get. So it is this wall into 2 and this wall into 2, right? So that is how you get your length 13.2. So this is your perimeter or your length of your wall, and this is absent. Okay, this we do not calculate. Okay, so it is because we have to calculate in meters squared. And then this is your height of your wall, okay, 3 meters. So what you get is you get your surface. Okay, you get your surface of your wall, internal surface of your wall, that is room 1. Room 1. Then moving on to room 2, similarly for room 2, you need to calculate the inside perimeter, right? Inside perimeter. And since the room 1 and room 2 are similar in dimensions, the length and height will be same and the quantity will also be same. Okay, length because the dimensions are similar for room 1 and room 2. Now moving on to veranda. Okay, moving on to veranda. So veranda dimensions, you can observe veranda dimensions. I will tell you it is 3.6 into 2.4. Okay, 3.6 into 2.4. So 3.6 plus 2.4 into 2, right? Into 2, you get your length as 12 meters. You get your length as 12 meters, and the height of my veranda is 3 meters, right? So I get the quantity of my cement plastering for veranda, that is 36 meters squared. So all of these values are in meters squared. Remember, because we are multiplying only two quantities, hence we will get in meters squared. So moving on to room 3. Okay, moving on to room 3, which is your curved part. Curved, which is including your this part. Okay, so this is my room 3. So this dimension I need to calculate, this perimeter I need to calculate. Okay, so this is my room 3, okay, including my curved part. Okay, so this is my room 3. So how do we calculate this part? Okay, so how do we calculate? We need to calculate the total perimeter. I've told you for total perimeter we need to calculate. So for room 3, okay, room 3 they have mentioned here clearly. For room 3, for internal plastering, plastering of a curved part, internal curved part. So we know that the perimeter, right, it is given by 2 pi r for our circle, and for half of a circle, that is semicircle, it is pi r. So length into that is your radius into your pi. So radius we know into in they have given as 1.8, right? Into in the radius that they have given it is 1.8. So pi into 1.8 we get it as 5.66. Okay, so the curved part we have covered. Okay, curved part, that is this part we have covered, curved part we have covered. Next we have to calculate this part of the room. Okay, we have to cover this part. So perimeter, so this is 2.4, right? This is mentioned as 2.4. So it is 2.4 into 2, right? 2.4 into 2, because this is one more 2.4 here wall we have, plus this, that is 3.6, right? So plus 3.6 plus your curved this part which we have calculated. Okay, so this, so adding all of this we get our curved length, that is 14.06. Okay, so this is 5.66 plus 2.4 into 2 plus 3.6, we get it as 14.6, which we have written over here. Okay, which we have written over here. Height is 3 meters, right? Same. And then you calculate your surface area, that is 42.15. So this is how you calculate for your inside walls. Okay, all of this is for inside wall. Now moving on to outside wall. Okay, moving on to outside walls. So external walls, they have given us out to out distance, right? They have given us out to out distance in our plan. So we will also use that. So for curved part, right? Curved part, external radius, right? For external plastering, external radius, right? So external radius, let me just show you in the plan. So what we are talking about is we are talking about the external curve, okay, external. So you have calculated the internal, right? We have calculated the internal, that is using 1.8. We have calculated it using 1.8. Now we are concerned about this external wall, okay, external wall we are concerned about, right, which I am drawing. So I need the radius from up to this external wall, right? I need the radius up to external wall. So it will be what, 8.8 plus my wall thickness, right? It will be 8.8 plus my wall thickness, that is 0.3. So we need to add 0.3 for our calculation. So here, if you just look into, so that is what 1.8 plus 0.3. So it is 2.1, right? It is 2.1 meters. Radius is 2.1 meters. That is external radius. Then curved part, external curved part will be what? Pi into 2.1, right? Pi into 2.1. So it will be 6.6 meters. It will be 6.6. So what is the total length of my external wall? Total length of my external wall. So it is 8.1. That is the length of my out plan length that they have given, right? Out 8.1. And then 6.6. Let me just scroll up. So that is the width of my plan, right? Width of my plan. So this is 6.3, which they have given here. Let me just zoom in. So this is 8.1, right? Out. Then this is 6.3, right? 6.3 into 2, right? Because it is one over here and one over here. And then we have to add this part, right? We have to add this, right? So it will be what? 0.3 plus 3.6, right? Plus 3.6. So that will give me this part. And then this curved part we have already calculated, right? With this curved part we have already calculated. So adding all of this, right? 8.1 plus 6.3 plus this curved part will give me my external perimeter. That is equal to what? That is equal to 30.6, okay, 30.6. And the height we know is 3 meters, right? Height we know is 3 meters. So the total quantity we get it as 91.8 meters. So the total gross quantity, that is internal plus external, we add internal plus external we add, and we get the total quantity of cement plastering for internal as well as external. Okay, for internal as well as external, we get it as 249.15. So this is my gross quantity of cement plastering for internal plus external walls. So now moving on to deductions. Okay, moving on to deductions. So for door D, I have told you 4 in number, then 7 in number, and 1 in number. Okay, 4, 7, and 1. And this is the size of my openings. Okay, size of my openings, which is given in schedule. Now, as I've told you, each of my door has 2 surfaces, right? Each of my door has 2 surfaces. So into 2 for all of this, into 2. We have to do all of this. We have to multiply twice, because we are having 2 surfaces, right? Inside and outside, for our doors, windows, and ventilators, whatever it is. Each of my door, window, and ventilation will have 2 surfaces, right? We plaster internally, we plaster externally. So we have to multiply 2. But in the IS code, which I have shown, right, IS 1200, which says that we have to use only one surface, that we have to deduct only 50%. So what I have to do, I have to multiply all of this. I have to multiply all of this by 1/2, right? I have to multiply by 1/2. That is only one face we have to deduct. So what will happen is this half and this 2 and this 2 will cancel, and we will be left out with only these quantities. We will be left out with only these quantities. So what they have done is they have not mentioned this calculation part. Okay, they have not mentioned this calculation part. So 4, 7, and 1 we can use. And then this is your opening sizes, right, which is given in schedules. And when you multiply number into length and into height, you get this in meter squared. Okay, you get this in meter squared. And from this 249 gross quantity, you have to reduce your opening plastering. Okay, you have to reduce these deductions, and then you get your net quantity. That is 226.38 meters squared. Okay, so this is how you get your cement plastering. Okay, I hope this is clear. Cement plastering is clear, I hope. So preparing an abstract. So second part of your estimate is always preparing an abstract. So you do not provide your client with all these details. Okay, you do not provide them with these details. What you provide your client is, you provide them with this. Okay, abstract you provide them. So abstract consists of all this. Okay, so particulars of items, right? They have asked us to calculate three: so earthwork and brickwork and cement plastering. So that you mention. Then you mention the quantities which you have calculated. Okay, quantities, net quantities which you have calculated. You mention them, and then you mention the units. So this is in cubic meters or meter cube. This is in meter cube, and the cement plastering is in meter squared. Okay, meter squared, and then this is your rate. Okay, rate. So 140 rupees per cubic meter. Okay, 140 rupees per cubic meter, and then this is 5,500 rupees per cubic meter. So whatever unit is mentioned here will be the unit which will be over here. Okay, always. So if this is in cubic meter, this will be in cubic meter. If this is in square meter, this should also be in square meter. So for plastering work, you can say it is 130 rupees per square meter. Okay, per square meter, how much rupees? 130. So multiplying quantity by your rate. Okay, multiplying both these quantities, what you get is you get your amount. Okay, you get your amount. Add all of this, you get a total quantity or your total amount. Okay, you get a total amount. That is here it is around 2 lakh. Okay, it is around 2,04,000. So to this 2,04,000, what you do is you calculate or you add 3% as contingencies and you add 2% as your work charge establishment. So this is standard. So you add 3% and 2% of this. Okay, of this quantity. So after you add all of this, your grand total is your cost of your work. Okay, of your these three works. So it is 2,14,929 rupees. So that is your grand total which is required for this item of work. So only for 3 item of works you can observe that you have to call your cost is going up to 2,14,000, right? Only for 3 item of works. We have not calculated for size stone masonry. We have not calculated any earthwork in filling, right? Earthwork in filling. And we have not calculated RCC works. We have left out painting work. We have left out flooring work, right? Flooring. Then many of our works we have left out. So you can observe only three item of works are costing around 2 lakhs. So this is how you prepare an abstract of an estimate, or abstract of a estimated cost. So this is what you provide to your client. Okay, and this is what they will go through and then they will comment. Okay, so this is how you prepare an abstract. So if you have any doubts regarding in this numerical, you are free to ask. You can type in chat or you can just let me know. You can talk, you can unmute and you can talk. If you have any doubts in calculation of any of this numerical, any of the parts of the numerical. So we have calculated using a long wall, short wall. Okay, we have calculated using long wall and short wall method. You can try using a centerline method if you want for as a homework. You can try solving the same numerical using centerline method, and you have to get the same quantities. You have to get the same quantities. If you are not getting the same quantities, you are going wrong somewhere. Okay, that is there. So after this, okay, after this, so I hope this is clear. So moving on to your next numerical. That is we have in this numerical, you can observe we have columns. Okay, so this is a more practical type of estimation which you will be doing, because all of the buildings which you construct now are usually you can observe they are frame structures, right? They are framed ones. They are having columns, right? They are having columns, and then they are having this kind of foundation, right? This kind of foundation they will be having. So this is what is usually found in your field. No, so this is what this is an important numerical which you have to look into. Okay, so all of the numericals which we have solved previously. Okay, all of the numericals which you have solved previously were all load bearing structures wherein there were no columns present, right? We have observed that there were no columns present in our previous numericals which we have solved up till now. But this numerical, you can observe that we have columns, right? RCC columns, and this is a frame structure. So which is a more practical one as per your field. Okay, so you will be dealing with this kind of estimation more rather than the previous ones. Okay, so you can observe there are columns present here, and Then there are this foundation which is given, right? RCC footing which is given, and then along with this, there is also footing which is provided for your wall, right? Wall footing also has to be given. So this we have done in your previous numerical, but addition to this, there are columns which are present. Okay, columns which are present. So just look into this section for your column, as look into your section for your column and your wall. Okay, you can observe the depth. Okay, you can observe the depth. So the total depth is how much here? It is 0.45 plus 0.45 plus 0.1. Okay, so it is 0.9 plus 0.1. So your overall depth is 1 meters, right? It is 1 meter. And you can observe here for your wall. Okay, for your wall, if you observe, the depth is 0.45 plus 0.45 plus 0.1. So this depth is also 1 meters, right? So this depth is also 1 meter. So you can observe that both of these are going up to the same level. From your ground level, your foundation level is the same. Foundation level is same for your wall as well as your column. So that is there. Next, moving on to next thing, let us just look into what have they asked us particularly to calculate. So work out the quantities of the following item of works from given plan and section. Okay, from given plan and section of RCC framed residential building. So this is a residential building which is in RCC. Okay, RCC framed residential building. So what they have asked us, to calculate earthwork in footing and in column footing and walls. Okay, earthwork in column footing and walls. Then PCC bed concrete. Then M20 concrete in footing, right? We can observe here this is made up of M concrete. Okay, this part is made up of M concrete, your footing as well as your column. So M20 concrete for footing, column, lintels and slab. Okay, for lintels and also for slab, which is made up of RCC. So they are made up of M20 concrete. So next thing is brickwork. Brickwork in cement mortar 1:6 for superstructure. So this is your brickwork which is provided, right, for walls. And brickwork we need to calculate. Then the next thing that you have to calculate is granite flooring. Okay, granite flooring which is provided in which is provided granite. So that is easy. No, that is easy calculation. Then your 20 mm thick external wall plastering. So we are dealing with only external plastering. Okay, we are not concerned about internal plastering. Internal plastering we are not calculating. We are calculating only external wall plastering. So which is 20 mm in thickness. Okay, 20 mm in thickness, remember. So let us just look into the plan which they have provided us. So you can observe this is one bedroom. This is your bathroom come water closet. So it is a combined one, bath plus your toilet. It is combined. Then this is your kitchen. Okay, kitchen. So you can observe the height is similar. So this is 3.5, right? This is 3.5 from here to here, which is similar for your kitchen as well as your bedroom. So bedroom is larger in size compared to your kitchen. So you can observe this is 4.07. This is 3.07. So this is larger by 1 meter. So this is 2.6 by 1.7. This is 1.7. This is 2.6. Okay, length is 2.6 and your breadth is 1.7. This is 1.7. So they have not provided the dimensions of this part. Okay, the passage they have not provided. So what I have done, I have calculated. So this is how I have divided. So this is always given into in, right? Always the dimensions are given into in. So what I have done is I have divided it into in. So what you can do, you can add all of this, right? You can add 4.07 plus 0.3 plus 2.6 plus so this wall is not 0.3. Okay, this wall is not 0.3, sorry. So this wall thickness, you can observe that this wall thickness is 0.23. Okay, 0.23. Okay, so which is the thickness of your column, right? Thickness of your column. You can observe that the thickness of the column is 230 by 230. So that is what is provided as your wall thickness, because your column need to be flush with your wall, right? So you can observe your column is exactly fitting in with your wall. It is not a protruding, right? It is not larger in size. If we provide a column which is larger in size, what will happen? You will have protrusions like this in your inside of your room, right? So to avoid that, what you do is you provide a column which is exactly the size of your wall thickness, right? So it can be larger in length, but the thickness is always similar. So your column can be like this, right? It can be larger in length, right? But the thickness is always similar to your wall thickness. So that it is in flush with your wall. So this is 230, right? So 4.07 plus 230 plus 2.6, okay, plus 2.6 plus 230 plus 3.07, okay, plus 3.07. So if we add all of this, okay, add all of this. So okay, so that is not required for this because it will be similar to 2.6, right? Sorry, so it is similar to this whatever is the in distance of your bathroom, right? So that is what is given over here. So we need to calculate for our breadth we need to calculate, okay, not required for length calculation. So for breadth, how can we calculate? So this is given as 3.5, right? So this is 3.5. So I need to reduce what? I need to reduce this part. I need to reduce this much. I need to reduce. So it is what? 1.7 plus 0.23. So 1.7 plus 0.23. If you reduce from 3.5, you get it as 1.557. Okay, 1.57. So that is how I have calculated this passage, right? I have calculated this passage section in twin distance, which will be needed later on while calculation. Okay, so what you can do in exam, if you get a similar kind of numerical, you can just do this part. Okay, so just let us just look into living room. So living room, a big living room is provided, right? So it is 10.2 meters in length, okay, 10.2 meters in length, and the height which is provided over here, or the breadth which is of your living room is 5.2 meters. So let us just look into the number of doors and windows. So number of doors, you can observe one number of door is here, right? One number of doors. So this is 1, and this is 2, and this is 3. So number of doors D are 3 in number, okay, 3 in number. And this is not a door, okay, this is not a door. This is just an opening which is provided, right? This is just an opening which is provided. This is not a door. So there is nothing over here. No door is provided over here. So it may be like this, okay. So it is a door which is provided like this. So it may usually what we do, we provide an arch like this, right? We provide an arch like this over an opening which does not have a door, right? We provide a door like this. But in this case, it is not an arch, okay. In this case, it is not an arch. Why it is not an arch? Because while doing deductions, okay, we will deduct this as a rectangle, okay. We'll deduct that as a rectangle and not including this arch. So there we can know that this is not provided with an arch. So this is not a door. So how many number of doors? D1, only one number, okay, one number of door D1, right? How many number of windows? W. Okay, let us just look into how many number of windows W. So this is one window, this is 2, 3, okay, 3, okay, only 3. So these are 3 in number, okay, 3 in number, and window W1, okay, which are smaller in size compared to W. You can observe this is smaller in size. So this is 1 in number, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so these are 4 in number. I think someone has raised their hand. Balu has raised their hand. If you have any doubt, you can just ask. Then moving on to ventilator. Okay, ventilator. You can see ventilator is always provided for your bathroom, right? It is always provided for bathroom. So 1 in number. Okay, ventilator is only 1 in number. So that is regarding the number of doors and windows and ventilators. So we do not count the opening, right? We do not have to count this opening. Okay, we do not calculate this or we do not count this opening. Okay, so remember that. That is not to be mentioned in schedule of openings. That is never mentioned in your schedule of openings. This opening is never mentioned. So moving on to next thing, that is just look into how many number of columns you have. Number of columns, you can observe 1, then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Okay, 9 number of columns. Okay, 9 number of columns, remember. Then what is the size of our column? We will look into size of our column. Size of a column. So it is 230 by 230. You can observe here it is 230 by 230. Okay, 230 by 230. And this is your RCC column, right? Section of your RCC column. Then the RCC footing which is provided. RCC footing which is provided is 45 centimeters in depth. 45 centimeters or 0.45 meters in depth. okay, 0.45 meters in depth. Then we have a PCC bed, okay, PCC bed which is of 0.1 meter in thickness, 0.1 meter in thickness, and the PCC bed is how much it is the width of my PCC bed? It is 1.35, okay, 1.35 is the width, and the thickness is 0.1, and this step or this footing is how much is in it is in width? It is 0.2 meters in width, okay. You can observe over here. Let me zoom in. So the width, that is this width, it is 0.12, sorry, it is 1.2 meters, and the width of my PCC bed is how much? It is 1.35. Okay, so this is the cross section, and this is your plan view of this section, okay, plan view of this RCC column plus footing, RCC column plus footing. This is your plan view, and observe. And then moving on to this wall section, okay, wall section. So wall is 0.23 in thickness. Then there is this lintel, okay, lintel which is straight, and the projection of this lintel is 0.6 meters, okay. External projection is 0.6 meter. RCC lintel is 0.15 meter in thickness. Then RCC roof is 0.1 meter in thickness, okay, 0.1 meter in thickness. And this parapet wall, okay, parapet wall is 0.75 meter in height, and you can observe the higher thickness of the parapet wall is also similar to your wall over here, that is, it is 0.23. So our calculation part is reduced. The calculation is reduced much because the wall thickness is similar. So much of my calculation will be reduced, okay. So that is one thing which is you have to observe. So next thing, after we have looked into all of this, let us just look into whether they have provided, whether they have mentioned which method to follow, So you can observe in the question, there is no mention of any method which we need to follow, okay. There is no mention, so we can adopt any of the method or any of your method, that is, we can adopt long wall, short wall, or you can adopt centerline method. So what we will do is we will adopt your centerline method. Okay, we will adopt centerline method. So
Sir, enough, sir.
it is 12:13, right? We still have time. We have still
Sir, ಸಾಕು sir.
Sir, sacred.
okay. So what I'll do is I'll just explain this plan, and then we will finish off. So you can just observe, this is the same plan which is over here, right? It is the same one. So
Sir,
this
ಎಲ್ಲ
is
ಮಿಕ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿ ಏನೂ ತಿಳಿದಿಲ್ಲ sir, ಹಿಂಗ್ ಭಾಳ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರಿ sir.
okay. So what I'll do is we will continue this in your next session. Okay, what you can do is you can type in your attendance. You can start typing in your attendance, but do not leave the session until I let you know. Okay, start typing in your attendance, and just do not leave the session. And meanwhile, if anyone has any doubts, you can just let me know. If anyone has doubts simultaneously while typing in your attendance, you can let me know.
Sir, ಅದು abstract ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಅಷ್ಟ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕೇನು ಎಲ್ಲದಕ್ಕೂ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು sir?
Abstract usually you have to do for numerical is for 20 marks, right? You have to write your abstract also. So what we do is in exam we expect you to write the abstract also. So usually I have told you in exam only 5 quantities, maximum 6 quantities are asked. So preparing the abstract is not a big thing. Okay, in just 2 to 3 minutes you can finish off with your abstract. Okay, you have to provide an abstract, okay, because whatever we are dealing with is your detailed estimate. So your detailed estimate has to be provided with an abstract. So do not forget to provide an abstract along with your calculations.
ಅವ್ರ ರೇಟ್ ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಕೋಬೇಕನ್ sir?
Yes. That is the main thing. You have to remember all the rates. That is the main thing. Abstract, all the rates you have to remember. Okay, that is one thing that is tedious over here, that you have to remember all of this. So you have to practice with the rates. So you can use the latest rates which are there in your locality. So you can adopt those rates and you can multiply that with your quantity. So rates will not be given, okay? Rate list of your rates will not be given. You have to remember this. So Aryanth is asking what is the distance we have to provide for column? What distance you have to provide column? So that is that will be given in your plan. Okay, this distances or your column positioning will be given in your plan. So we do not have to deal with the number, with the column placement. Okay, column placement that will be provided. So you can observe in this plan column have already been provided and the location has been provided. So what distance depends in your RCC design, right? The placement of your columns, right? Placement of your columns, and then the sizes of your columns. It depends upon your load and your type of structure, right? It depends upon your loads and your type of structure, and based on that, you have to provide the number of columns and your placement. So length of the column, if you ask me, if you are asking the height of my column, okay, if you are asking the height of my column, that is the length. You mean by length, if you mean height, you have to measure it from here, okay? You have to measure it from here, starting from here, going up to slab. Okay, so it will be 3.2 meters, okay? 3.2 meters plus 0.45 plus 0.45. It will be from here to here, going up to footing. So this is your column length or column height, which you are talking about. It will be 3.2 plus 0.45. Okay, anything else? Any other doubt if you have, you can just let me know. Okay, it is 12:17.